Good day. Just came down to do a little bit of tidying, I think, in the poly. We'd have a look to see how Mary's doing. So this is the wild geranium that we potted on last September, was it? It's doing well, so that's good. The Hottentot fig, we've got two here, two pots, and that's sort of faring pretty well considering that we've had sub-zero temperatures down here. That's faring pretty well, which I'm really pleased about. I think we've got some drying off going on there, but that's fine because hopefully if this all lasts and doesn't go squishy, if this all lasts until the spring, I'll be able to cut this off here and create new plants from this bit and let that bit grow on. Quite a lot of tidying needs to go on. This coriander, actually very few of the seeds came to anything. You can see some here and some up there, but that can come out. The parsley here, some of it has been bitten by frost, as you can see. Our peppers have gone, so they can come out. But look what we've already got coming up. Bluebells. So yeah, we have bluebells under here, and they come up every year. Hey ho. So I think I'm just going to get on and tidy this up a little bit. And my chair, I put my chair at an angle because a few drips come down from here and they settle in the chair, so I put the chair at an angle so the drips don't settle in the chair. Anyway, I'm just going to get on and tidy this up a little bit. That's all looking a little bit tidier now. I'll use up those two lettuce over the coming week or so. This one in front near the middle of the screen is beginning to bolt and go to seed anyway. Yeah, and I've got others that I can bring on and other seeds that I can sow, so yeah, I think they'll come out. The parsley and coriander has been tidied up. The big coriander, which was here, has come out. The Mizuna has been left in, that's this one. So we've got enough parsley there for a nice stuffing on Christmas Day. And I've just done a sort of general bit of tidying, superficial, I admit, but a general bit of tidying here. I'm going to take this pot home and pop it in the dishwasher because I think the cucumber save seed that I did is going to go in there. Most of the pots and things under here, maybe give that a little tidy. That one needs to, this one needs to go over here at some point. But yeah, pleased about that. Yeah, a little bit of tidying. It may not seem as though I've done a lot of work today, and in fact I haven't done very much work today, but I've done something, and for me that was the important thing for today. Because if you get our newsletter, our Richard and Paul newsletter, you'll have read, or you may have read, that I really feel as though I can't find my mojo at the moment. So just getting down here on a Friday afternoon, it's Friday afternoon. I haven't been down here since Monday, and that was just to pick some Portuguese cabbage. So I haven't been down here since Monday, and I just knew I needed to get down here and do something, and I didn't know what I was going to do. And I'm glad that I did come down, and I'm glad that I've sorted out a little job, a very, very little job, because it's only by getting, jobs done, you know, bit by bit, that we actually prepare for next year. And there's still loads to do. I've still got to sort out all this ground here, move the compost bins, blah 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 blah. But let's not go into that today, because yeah, I don't want to bring myself any further down than already having lost my mojo. But what was lovely is I come into the greenhouse. There's some cloves in here, which I know are Germinador garlic cloves, which have been given to me by a plot neighbour 1, 2, 3, 4 that way. And the peas are really beginning to show above ground now. I can see distinct rows of peas. They're virtually invisible, but they are there. I can see them. And the same with the broad beans, the second sowing of broad beans, which actually seem to be a bit better than the first sowing of broad beans. The first look a bit weather worn already. The second sowing seems to be a little bit brighter. And then of course we've got the shards of green of the precocium garlic, which are always fabulous to look at. And that's the thing for me, you know, that's why I like growing certain things like broad beans, like peas for the first time in decades, like garlic over the winter, because when I come down, if I'm feeling a little bit low and you see these bright emerald shards reaching up from the soil to the sky, even though they might be only a couple of centimetres in height, it really does lift my spirits. It really does. And okay, my spirits might fall a little bit when I look at all the weeding that needs to be done in certain areas and that type of thing. But what I try and focus on is getting a small job done, or getting a job done, and enjoying what I can enjoy, which is time in this fabulous space. I mean, our allotment here, we are so fortunate to have this. You know, I look over there, there's the huge building of Ealing Hospital. You know, behind me is millions of houses, you know, going into central London and beyond. We really are here on the edge of the city. You know, as I've said before, we've got the River Brent just 120 metres that way. We've got the Grand Union Canal 120 metres that way. And then on the other side of the Grand Union Canal is a huge amount of open space and Warren Farm Nature Reserve. You know, we're so fortunate to live in this area and have chosen this area to live in, and for our allotment to be here. You know, we're not surrounded by houses and by, I mean, we get quite a lot of noise. We saw the noise of the aircraft last week, but when it's quiet here, it really is quiet. There's usually a rumble of the M4 in the background, but then we hear the parakeets, you know, we hear magpies. When I was in the polytunnel, why had I not told you this? When I was sorting the polytunnel, I was doing the weeding, putting it into a bucket. I turned to my left just to look out the door. There was Brush sitting in the door, you know, our resident male fox, just sitting there watching me. You know, what are you doing? What are you doing? And, you know, things like that are joyous. How can you not take joy in those moments? You know, it's, yeah, you have to have quite a cold heart not to appreciate those moments of joy. You really need to have quite a cold heart. Fortunately, mine's not cold. My mood might be a little low, but my heart is not cold, even if my hands are, because I don't have my gloves on. Anyway, I am going to go. I've been rambling, haven't I? 6 minutes. So yeah, time to go. Glad I've got that job done. Glad just to be here and to have this space to enjoy sitting here and enjoy chatting to other people who also enjoy being here. We're very fortunate. Right, I'm going to go because I can feel my nose is going to start dripping. See you very soon. Bye. Good day. I just decided that on the off chance that these may take, I'm going to sow some parsley and coriander. These are into modules. The module that I said, oh, I'm going to put that away. One of those I'm actually using, and another one I'm using too. So that was the parsley, just sort of maybe a couple of 2, 3, 4 seeds in each of those modules there. Don't want that one there. Doing 3 or 4 per module here. It's quite old seed, this as well, so it's sort of on the off chance. Another sowing of each of those is left. Loosely topping these up. This is the multi-purpose compost, which has got quite a lot of straw and pulp in it. That has come from the stables, military and royal stables. Yeah. Just level those off a little bit. And I'm going to grab a lid and pop these into the greenhouse. So that was just a little job to do today, and it is pretty old seed. I was going through my seed box and I saw those 2 packets. One is coriander, best before 2021. The other is Giant of Italy parsley, best before 2022. They germinated quite well earlier this year. That's what was in the poly that I took out. So I thought I'd give them a go, and I've given them a go. And the compost that I'm using is peat free. And today I received my RHS magazine, and something I've been meaning to say for a while is said far better in here. 12 expert tips for using peat-free compost, and this tip is from Matt Biggs, who's Broadcaster and Gardener's Question Time regular. Water thoughtfully. It's almost like relearning how to use compost. You're putting yourself through a training course in your own greenhouse. My watering routine has needed the most adjustment. Peat-free compost can look dry on top while still being damp beneath, so it's easy to overwater. I now stick my little finger into the tray corner to see whether the compost is consistently moist before I water. The direct contact with the compost gives me a better idea of what's going on. It's about feeling it, and with the experience you get to know how much water they need. And that's something that I've been meaning to say, because with peat-free compost, it's quite easy for that compost to be overwatered, or for us to overwater it, because as he says, it can go quite crisp and dry on top, but down below it can be still quite moist, and there will be enough moisture in that compost to keep things growing well, particularly at this time of year when it's much colder, because things take longer to germinate at this time of year, if in fact they do germinate at this time of year. Parsley and coriander is pretty tough. You can usually grow it indoors at all times of the year where we are, each month of the year where we are. So I'm giving it a go. It's old seed, so the viability of the seed might be less. It's also cold, so that will reduce the germination rate. But you know what? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. And if it doesn't work, then that compost will just be going onto a bed next spring, which was very likely where it would have ended up anyway. But fingers crossed we'll get some germination. Anyway, that's it for today. I'll see you again soon. I'll see you again tomorrow, I think. Bye. Good day in the orchard. This is the tree that I did work on a year ago. It hadn't been worked on for quite a few years, in fact quite a few years, and as often happens when you do start working on a tree, you get some sort of wispy growth that comes off. You can particularly see it in here, I think. You see these here, all that growth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, those are water sprouts, and they're not really going to be any good for anything, so I'm going to be cutting those off and going around the tree, and I'll be doing some sort of where this is beginning to cross over here, that was grown this year, taking that off. If I come around here, hopefully you can see more water sprouts in here. So yeah, I'm just gonna have a gentle job getting some of those off. There's more here. You see these here. So yeah, let's get on and do that. So a very easy job, just taking these right back. Find your way in. That's a bit more difficult. That one can go as well. Where's that one? Is this one here as well, which is quite wispy. Not sure if you can see that. That's off. Got quite a few up here and up here that I need to do, but I'll need to get a ladder to do those. Some in the higher canopies, and you mostly see these wispy ones here as well, so I'll do that another day. But it really is, look at that sky, glorious sunshine at the moment, really glorious. That was a rather relaxing job to do, not up any ladders today, just going around the tree, seeing those shoots and taking those off. We'll do more pruning I'll do the higher up ones maybe next week, the week after, and then we'll look at the whole tree in January, where it really is in the middle of its dormancy, one hopes, and see if there's any other major pruning that we need to do. As I say, because that tree hadn't been pruned for many a year, and I do mean many a year, we're in a sort of 3-year pruning cycle at the moment to try and rejuvenate it. Not pruning it too hard to shock it too much, but in some of the work that we are doing, clearly it's going to go, oh, I've got more light, I need to grow, I can see space, and it's sending out those shoots, which is fine. The lower ones that I've been able to reach today have been nipped in the bud though. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for this week's A Week at the Plot. As you saw, the sun is really glorious. I'm doing it in the poly because it's too bright for my eyes to do it outside, and in the greenhouse it's so strong this side of my face that this side of my face is in the dark, so it looked a bit odd. But yeah, you know, it's lovely, it's glorious, and let's enjoy this sunshine whilst it is here. And that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to potter a little bit now and then get back home. And look, Mary's looking over my shoulder. There we are. Any questions, any comments, please do leave them down below. And whatever you're doing in your garden, your growing space, or your allotment, I hope it is going well. And maybe you won't see, it'll be Christmas Day that when this comes out. Not this one, this will be the week before, but next week we'll be going through into Christmas week, and the next full upload on YouTube will be Christmas Day. So whatever you're doing in your in your week before Christmas, if you're traveling, I hope all that goes well. And yeah, I'll be uploading this most probably Christmas Day. It's part of my routine. See you soon. Bye. Gosh, it's getting even brighter. Bye.